Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. Now I know what many of you are probably wondering. What's the deal with Lunar Classic? Where does Luna 2.0 stand? What's the big picture right now, and how will this turn out? What impact will it have on both blockchains, anyway? Everyone should know that in order for both blockchains to go down, to stop working altogether, all validated transactions would have to go down on both networks. This is because they are based on consensus and validation. Thus, we are now in a scenario where I would advise you to examine the present state of affairs with LUNC if you are curious about Luna's future. As a result, Luna will be joining the ranks of developers who have been dragging this chain ahead for the previous 2 years without a clear vision. Also, keep in mind that you'll be seeing things from our perspective as you peer through the looking glass. Our perspective is that these individuals are about to embark on a process that we have already completed for the past 2 years. In all candor, I fear that Luna is about to descend into anarchy. I felt it was essential to make this film since I have proof. A lot of people are contacting me, including many Luna fans, and they are asking for my perspective on the matter, which is fascinating. On the whole, though, Luna isn't doing well. Regarding Luna Classic, this is excellent. Here we have a tweet from TFL essentially announcing the verdict, expressing their disappointment with what they see as an unfounded verdict. Furthermore, they will insist that the SEC lacks the power to initiate this lawsuit. Concerning what to do next, we are giving it a lot of thought. They can ask for a reversal or go through the proper channels to do so, but in my view, it won't change anything and you'll just be putting off the inevitable. With it out of the way, okay. So, what happens to TFL now? Well, this might put TFL in a position where they are barred from engaging in any cryptocurrency-related activities going forward. As I've mentioned on the program previously, about Decay's extradition, many believe he will be sent to South Korea, then the US, then back to South Korea, US, and so on. Reason being, he has financial resources at his fingertips. You can access a lot of his finances to keep appealing this case and keep himself in constant motion for a long time, because he has a treasure with him. He can carry on doing that for the time being provided he has the necessary finances. Returning to the matter of deterioration, this is what I meant. Allow me to sort of tie this up for the moment. The Montenegrin Supreme Court has reversed the earlier decision to extradite Ju Chuan, co-founder of Terraform Labs, to South Korea. The decision was announced on March 23, 2023, while Terraform Labs was still embroiled in legal disputes, including a trial with the SEC about fraud accusations. Given the immense power that this guilty conviction has brought, my prediction is that he will eventually wind up in the United States. Furthermore, I firmly believe that he will be traveling to the United States. While others may not share this view, I do. Okay, then, let's move on to TFLs. Think about that for a second. If they are found guilty, if they are at blame, the collapse was their fault. After all, that's what happened in the past. They shouldered the blame for the estimated $300 billion in cryptocurrency losses, because they were careless and acted irresponsibly. Now everyone who was involved in the crash, whether it was Luna or not, can sue TFL. Therefore, I don't think it will be long until they simply file for bankruptcy. What I mean is the entire thing, not just Chapter 11. I find it fascinating that there will be a mad dash to control the Luna chain. This is something that everyone should be aware of. In this screenshot, we can observe various individuals engaging in a discussion. Someone has even gone as far as to suggest that we might not see certain developers anymore if this result prevents them from working on crypto. There must be a way for them to function, and if that fails, we must find an alternative. Another man stating the same thing. The community treasury has sufficient funds to cover salaries and other expenses. First, Deb needs a voting proposal. Where does Luna 2.0 stand? Oh my! They are completely unprepared for what is going to transpire, and he let out a low-volume laugh. The fact that no two people will ever be in the same situation is something they fail to grasp. Many people will attempt to become TFL, and the blockchain as a whole is likely to undergo a massive internal conflict as a result of this moon state. They will seek out areas that can be privatized, such as TFL, in the event that they are unable to become that. If they go bankrupt and close down, the community will get all of the station's assets up to version 3. We have already witnessed Hexagon, so that would be that. It will leave a large hole in the market. We literally whipped it up in 2 weeks for free, because the chain needed it. It didn't cost us anything, and we're not charging you anything. The moment this happens, they go on Twitter to explain that you have this wallet and infrastructure and everything. Seeing how everything turned out to be where it is now is just amusing. If it goes that route, though, this certainly supports the idea that many will attempt to privatize the services that will be cut. In my opinion, there is no way this is going to end with Luna doing anything other than stepping down, stepping back, and removing herself from the situation. Plus, Luna will simply transform into a community-owned chain, putting it in the same position as Luna Traditional. They mentioned in that statement that they have a decent community treasury, however it's not that large. When compared to our Oracle rewards pool, our community pool is light years ahead of the competition. If it were to come down to a pissing match, as it were, to bastardize things a bit, but when it came down to crunch time, who could outlast who? Our community pool could easily outlast the Luna chain entirely due to our Oracle rewards pool. I believe that when the chaos takes hold, when control is lost, and when things become very uncertain, people will return to Luna Classic. This is due to the fact that many of the top greedy validators are already top greedy validators on the Luna Classic network, and the technology is the same. Even before this happened, they were making heavy use of it. Moreover, we want to emphasize that our blockchain was not born out of an unnecessary necessity. If anything, as the remaining chain, I believe we have a lot of potential and a lot of influence here. We're the captains, in my opinion, because the communities here are so much larger. So much so that I could spend a long time listing all the ways in which Luna Classic is superior. But the real bullishness of this development for our blockchain needs to be known. On the other hand, it's important for everyone to realize that negativity will emerge when this process begins and the Luna blockchain is engulfed in chaos. Again, we'll come to a crossroads where we must tell ourselves, we must separate ourselves from all of this negativity, BS, and being tarnished with the same brush. We must do this because, if I may put it this way, we belong to different groups. Why? Because the crash was not our fault. If anything, we're the ones attempting to put things back together, after they shattered everything and scattered a plethora of small bits all over the floor. At the very start of that crash, we stepped in and took it up. Now, as terrible as it may seem, my desire is that the Luna chain breaks apart on its own. The horror of it is not lost on me. I apologize, but in my opinion, the original outcome should have been different if you were involved and sold all of your UNC solar through UST. Phoenix, I refuse to think that one should have ever been produced. It was my belief that the original blockchain could have been preserved. Not to mention that you could have done that had you so desired. With DK, I now believe he is bound for America. There will be a plethora of individuals, and it's likely that there are solicitors, lawyers, or whatever you want to call them, from all over the world who have sufficient reasons to initiate a legal dispute and seek reimbursement from claims. The United Kingdom has been through a lot of claims processes, including crash for cash, clipping for cash, whiplash, PPI, and PBJ claims, all of which can boil down to a no-win no-charge search ration. So, I simply believe that Luna is going to be hit by a massive tsunami of upheaval. Assuming it makes logic, I really doubt it will be able to endure anything. Because of this, I believe Luna Classic will be in a quite intriguing position. Plus, The guilty verdict has been announced, is widely known, and a lot of people are aware of it, which is even more significant at this moment. We haven't gone up or down, and the charts haven't even responded. There has been no major development. Overall, I believe we should celebrate this victory, move on from this day, and enjoy some fresh grass and sunshine wherever you may be. Consider that things could have turned out much worse. On Monday, when many investors returned to crypto after weekend getaways, we could witness a crash. However, that massive, big first hit would have been seen to us simultaneously. After much discussion, I'd like you all to condense this into a few bullet points. CES is running a little longer than I would prefer, but rest assured that neither blockchain nor the event will abruptly end. It boils down to the active set of validators, and the amount of work and effort invested into the chain, as I mentioned earlier. We must all now keep in mind that if TFL decides not to continue constructing the lunar network, they will be in our shoes. They appear to be beginning to doubt things and express interest in bringing in a fresh development team. We are all familiar with the outcome. Development teams that excel at what they do afflict us. However, they lack foresight. The chain isn't believed by them. They have doubts about the technology. They are merely present to do the task at hand and collect payment thereafter. Who knows, maybe they're the ones in that boat. The video ends there. Like and subscribe as usual, and feel free to leave a comment with your opinions. Coming up shortly, farewell.